So she looked up at me and she said, I'm Vivien Leigh, and who are you? And I said something like, I blurted out something like a village idiot. I thought, oh my God, I will be fired. She think I'm totally mad. I couldn't speak. I was so ravished by the look of her. She was so beautiful. And anyway, it was a disaster. Well, rehearsals continued. And out on stage, the stage manager had arranged the chairs so that up left, down left, rather, right in front of the audience, on the left side of the stage, in the front, was the first chair, and then they did a semicircle, like a half moon, around to the other side, so that there was a sort of half moon shaped area that you acted in. And I don't know how it is in England, but in America, you have one work light that's left on. The union doesn't let you put lights on if you're rehearsing. So you have one big naked light bulb sitting up on a thing. So the lighting isn't very good, but you have some light to read your scripts and place yourself. Now we say stage. Let's stage it, which means get on your feet. I think you place in England, don't you? Anyway. So the stage manager had set these chairs up, many more chairs than were necessary, really, because it was a big cast, but not that big. And I was sitting over on stage right toward the end in a chair, and Vivien and Jack were sitting together on the exact opposite side of the stage, on left. And there were a lot of spaces in between, and actors all mixed in the semicircle. Well, we didn't do the party scene. We did a bit of it because Vivien comes in that scene, as I recall. But the major scene that we did after lunch was the scene that she had with Sir John, in which Anna Petrovna comes down the stairs, dying of tuberculosis, although she doesn't know it. And all too prophetic, you'll agree. This was Vivien's last play. But anyway, she comes down the stairs and confronts her husband. And she asks him, what was that girl doing here, talking about the ingenue? Well, of course, Vivien, with her little Mayfair extras, says, what was that girl, G-E-H-L, what was that girl doing here? And Vivien answers her, and they get into an argument, and it was so beautiful. And he said finally, you're going to die very soon. And she says, who told you that? The doctor? And anyway, it was terribly moving. And I could see, even with the work light and across the stage, she actually went white when she realized what he had said to her. And I was practically in tears, and I'd read the play, of course, by then, knew it, but she was just wonderful. And I thought, oh, what a lucky, lucky chap I am to be a young actor and be watching these two people for the first time doing this beautiful scene, bringing their art to us. And I just felt, I don't know who to thank first. And then she went back to finish the scene. She went back and sat down next to Jack. And I must have kept gazing at her in adoration. I don't know why. But suddenly she looked at me across and smiled. And I thought, well, that's very rude of me. I should be gazing after her. She just finished acting. So I sort of blushed and turned away. The next time I glanced, she had gotten up from her chair, left Jack, crossed behind the others in the semicircle, and went over to my side and sat down in the chair next to me. Well, I mean, as if the Queen of England had come and just suddenly sat down next to you. What would you do? You get up, go down on your knees and genuflect? I mean, my God, I should move away and give her space. But I thought, well, I was here first. Why is she sitting next to me? Oh, my God, I don't know what to do. Well, in my lap, of course, was my script, and it was open to the party scene. I hadn't changed it. And, of course, all of these scribblings all over the script. And Vivien turned to the right, looked at my face a moment, then lowered her head and looked down into my lap. And she said, "The first thing John should do is furnish the entire cast with rubbers." Well, I almost fell over backwards because in America, rubbers means only one thing, and I'm sure you probably know this, I don't know, but it is a condom, male prophylactic. And you English use rubber when you mean eraser. She meant eraser on the pencil to erase all these marks and put the correct ones in. Well, I had never heard that phrase before. So I thought, oh my God, I never thought that would be the first thing that Vivien Leigh ever said to me. And later on, of course, and I will be telling other stories as the relationship developed and that we went out of town and the East Coast in Canada, and I had many adventures, and I hope to share others with you if you don't mind listening to me being so long. And it was the most joyous time of my life, and I look forward to sharing more with you, and I think stories about her should be passed on. I'm never going to write my book. People will keep after me all the time, and I'm never going to be able to get myself together and write it down. I'm exhausted from having lived such a Gothic life. I don't know that I can write it all down again. But I find this easier, and I hope it's given you some interest. All right? I'll sign off now, and I'll be talking to you again. Goodbye.